One of the problems with recruiting for investment banking is not the knowledge or skills you acquire, but the access to talk with real investment bankers to put your best foot forward. Our sponsor, WSO Academy, can provide those connections with 60 head mentors who are finance professionals at top firms like Goldman, Centerview, and JP Morgan. Imagine being able to get on the phone within 24 hours with one of the Academy's 1,300 mentors right before a critical interview. Get on the waitlist for WSO Academy today by clicking the link in the show notes or by visiting wallstreetoasis.com/academy. All right. Welcome to Investment Banking Insights, the one, the only podcast dedicated to helping you understand both the technical and non-technical aspects of investment banking. Whether you are already in the finance field or you're a career switcher, this is the place for you. Hi, my name is Alex Mason and I am your host, and I am so grateful that you're joining me today. We're talking about a new concept here on the show, and we're in this field of accounting, learning all the basics, trying to break it down and put it back together again. And today, we're going to introduce this concept of capitalizing and expensing purchases. So the question that we're going to explore in today's episode is this: how do you know when to capitalize or expense a purchase? How do you know when to capitalize or expense a purchase? And we've discussed the concept of expenses many times, and how they show up on the income statement. But we haven't explicitly talked about what capitalizing something is. And we've touched on it a little bit here and there indirectly when talking about the concept of depreciation. And I'll get to how that connects in a moment. But essentially, what we have is this: when a business buys inventory, for example, as part of its cost of goods sold, it's a reasonable expectation that this inventory will be used up relatively quickly and be turned into a product that is then sold. Now, when a business buys an asset with a longer useful life, something like a factory, for example, that factory is going to stick around in the company's possession for some time, right? It's not like a company buys a factory and then says, after 6 months, you know what, we don't really need this thing anymore. We're good. It's meant to be used for a long time. It's a long range investment. Now, this is fundamentally the difference between expensing a purchase and capitalizing it. When an asset is purchased and has a useful life of less than 1 year, it is expensed, and that means that it shows up on the income statement as an expense. Very simple. We've been talking about this many times. Now, if the asset has a useful life of over 1 year, it is generally capitalized, which means that it shows up on the balance sheet. And because it is on the balance sheet now, it's an asset that's recorded there. It is depreciated or amortized over time. So that's the difference. If it's less than 1 year, expense it. If it's over 1 year, capitalize it. Fundamentally, that's the answer to the question. But let's expand on this just a little bit here now for a moment. Let's think about how this concept makes sense. And I'm going to give you an example that is a lemonade stand. So let's say that you're running a lemonade stand. And of course, in order to run the lemonade stand successfully, you need lemons. So that's part of your cost of goods sold. You're going to buy these lemons. You're going to buy the freshest ones that you can get. You're going to make the best lemonade ever known to humankind. And these lemons are going to get used up pretty quickly to sell your product, right? Because lemons don't last forever once you pluck them off the tree. So you make your lemonade with the lemons, and on your books, you would expense this purchase because you're buying inventory. And that inventory is going to get used up within a year. Now contrast this with buying a custom-made, beautiful lemonade stand where you're going to sit and sell your lemonade. Now, you intend to use this stand for a long time. So on the balance sheet of your business, you would record it as an asset, and then you would depreciate that asset over a period of years, because over time it's going to experience normal wear and tear, and eventually you're going to probably want a new one. So that is the major difference. And you can see just from the simple example when expensing something makes sense and when capitalizing it makes sense. Now, another note that I want to put in here is that in both cases, cash is leaving the company. You're still buying something. A purchase means that money is being spent. So the cash flow statement is affected via a cash outflow, whether the purchase is expensed or capitalized. So just another note there. If you're buying something, the company is still spending money. It's just a matter of what do you do in terms of accounting for the asset itself. Is it more of a short-term asset and you should expense it on the income statement? Or is it more of a long-term asset and you should capitalize it on the balance sheet? So that is the fundamental concept. Relatively simple, but hey, wanted to break it down for you here, as we always do here on Investment Banking Insights. And we've got more coming. We've got more coming, more accounting questions coming, more questions. We're going to get into DCFs. We're going to get into mergers and acquisitions, and eventually LBOs. And we're going to talk about non-technical things too. But that's what I got for you today here on Investment Banking Insights. My name is Alex Mason. I am your host. If you're enjoying this show, just leave a rating or a review or however you want to get in touch with me or show me the love. Show me the love because I'm already feeling the love from you guys and I appreciate it. And I hope that you appreciate these episodes coming out. So that's what I got for you today. And I'll see you next time on Investment Banking Insights.